In 2021, the NFL announced a 17-game season for each team. The season extension is the first step in an NFL expansion team since the Texans joined the league in 2002. Since the last expansion team was launched in 2002, the NFL was 19 years overdue by 2021. If the NFL gets its act together, an expansion team might be playing in 2025. The NFL added the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars in '93. It took those two groups 2 years to develop a franchise. They wouldn't have gotten an expansion franchise unless they had most of the infrastructure to play in already. So, let's play a game. Let's begin. In the number 5 spot, we have St. Louis. You had a feeling it was going to happen. I realize I'm biased, but St. Louis deserves this slot. St. Louis has already hosted 2 separate NFL franchises with reasonable success, despite the Rams' and NFL's claims that supporters didn't show up to games, which is not true. With a metro region of roughly 3 million people, not including the neighboring market, it's a foregone conclusion that the fan base will be there to support a team. The city retains the existing dome in downtown St. Louis and isn't as bad as the Rams and the NFL made it out to be. With a few $1 million in upgrades, there's no reason why a team couldn't play at the former Ed Jones Dome for the next few years, until a new facility can be built. The supporters bear no responsibility for teams' problems to keep a franchise in the gateway city. Following in the footsteps of Bill Bidwell and Eno Stanley, Kroenke was more interested in stuffing their pockets and obtaining taxpayer-funded stadiums than competing with a winning product on the field. The St. Louis Cardinals and St. Louis Blues organizations, led by Bill DeWitt II and Tom Stillman, have shown what it means to be a franchise owner in St. Louis, a steward, if you will. St. Louis supporters will not tolerate a clumsy attempt to gratify their vanity in the name of having a franchise. Consider the XFL's brief stay in the gateway city as an example of how engaged a crowd and persuade them to support your product can be. In terms of goods, the St. Louis Battlehawks outsold every other team in the XFL by a wide margin. The fans outnumbered every other squad by a factor of 2. Prior to the XFL canceling the season, the game was expected to draw over 50,000 fans to the Dome for an XFL game. Up next, we have Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City has earned itself a great position for itself on this list. A good-sized TV market, a growing population, and a decent location for a team. It just checks all of the boxes for a city that is expanding or relocating. Portland and San Antonio, on the other hand, impinge on other markets. The Chargers may fit nicely in this market. The now defunct AAF had a club there with solid support. And I couldn't help but wonder what kind of excitement an NFL team would bring to a place that's almost landlocked from other markets. A team would be stationed on an island in Salt Lake, which could cause implications. NFL teams typically bleed into other adjacent markets, although Salt Lake City does not have one. It may be a stretch, but it'll include them there. In the number 3 spot, we have San Diego. San Diego is another city that was snubbed by the NFL, coming in at number 2. Another story of supporters that had supported a team for decades despite a largely average or subpar product, only to be ripped off when it came to the big money relocation saga of Los Angeles. The Chargers had been in San Diego for 56 years before leaving for the big money pastures of Los Angeles, leaving devoted fans behind. The Chargers enjoyed approximately 60,000 annual attendance until their first year in San Diego, when it became clear that the organization had little to no interest in remaining in that area. San Diego is constrained by the same difficulties as other California clubs, and no team in the state receives public funds for stadium construction. The state is perpetually broke, and to be honest, the amount of money these teams make in Southern California should be enough. However, we all know that an NFL team is more about just making money. They want to make a lot of money. The Metropolitan Metro has a population of 3.5 million people. Therefore, it has the fandom to support another team or Chargers return. We all know the Chargers aren't doing well in Los Angeles. In the number 2 spot, we have Oakland. It's ironic that my top 3 towns on this list have all lost teams, but let's be clear, the NFL does not want the Raiders to leave Oakland, or the Chargers to leave San Diego. St. Louis was denied the additional $100 million guaranteed to those 2 areas if they could create a solid strategy to keep the franchise. Should I include my memo? I will. The Black Hole, as it has become lovingly known throughout the years, has one of, if not the most fervent fan bases in the sport. The fans were entitled to more than what they just received. They've put up with a lot of terrible football over the years, and they've been rewarded by their team's departure. Oakland is better equipped for an expansion rather than relocation. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we have San Antonio. On multiple occasions, San Antonio has been cheated out of potential franchises. The Raiders were lately considering relocating to the area. The Raiders owner, Mark Davis, was courting the city until Jerry Jones intervened to put a stop on the relocation plans. Well, guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.